The Kasidah of Haji Abdu el-Yezdi by Richard Francis Burton. 3. Fie, fie, you visionary things, ye motes that dance in sunny glow, who base and build eternities on briefest moment here below, who pass through life like caged birds, the captives of a despot will, still wondering how and when and why, and whence and whither, wondering still wondering how the marvel came, because two coupling mammals chose to slake the thirst of fleshy love, and thus the immortal being rose. Wondering, the babe with staring eyes, perforce compelled from night to day, gripped in the giant grasp of life, like gale-born dust or wind-wrung spray. Who comes imbecile to the world, mid double danger, groans and tears, the toy, the sport, the waif and stray of passions, error, wrath, and fears? Who knows not whence he came, nor why? Who kens not whither bound, and when? Yet such is Allah's choicest gift, the blessing dreamt by foolish men, who step by step perforce returns to couthless youth, wan, white, and cold, lisping again his broken words, till all the tale be fully told. Wondering the babe with quenched orbs, an oldster bowed by burthening years, how scaped the skiff an hundred storms, how scaped the thread 1,000 shears, how, coming to the feast unbid, he found the gorgeous table spread, with the fair-seeming Sodom fruit, with stones that bear the shape of bread. How life was naught but ray of sun, that clove the darkness, thick and blind, the ravings of the reckless storm, the shrieking of the ravening wind. How lovely visions guiled his sleep, aye, fading with the break of morn, till every sweet became a sour, till every rose became a thorn, till dust and ashes met his eyes, wherever turned their saddened gaze, the wrecks of joys and hopes and loves, the rubbish of his wasted days. How every high heroic thought that longed to breathe empyrean air failed of its feathers, fell to earth, and perished of a sheer despair. How, dowered with heritage of brain, whose might has split the solar ray, his rest is grossest, coarsest earth, a crown of gold on brow of clay. This house, whose frame be flesh and bone, mortared with blood and faced with skin, the home of sickness, dolours, age, unclean without, impure within, sans ray to cheer its inner gloom, the chambers haunted by the ghost. Darkness his name, a cold, dumb shade, stronger than all the heavenly host. This tube, an enigmatic pipe, whose end was laid before begun, that lengthens, broadens, shrinks, and breaks, puzzle, machine, automaton, the first of pots the potter made, by Chryseros' blue-green wave. Methinks I see him smile to see what guerdon to the world he gave. How life is dim, unreal, vain, like scenes that round the drunkard reel. How being meaneth not to be, to see and hear, smell, taste, and feel. A drop in ocean's boundless tide, unfathomed waste of agony, where millions live their horrid lives by making other millions die. How, with a heart that would through love to universal love aspire, man woos infernal chance to smite, as minarets draw the thunder fire. How earth on earth builds tower and wall to crumble at a touch of time. How earth on earth from Shinar plain the heights of heaven fain would climb. How short this life, how long withal, how false its wheel, how true its woes, this fever fit with paroxysms to mark its opening and its close. Ah, gay the day with shine of sun, and bright the breeze, and blithe the throng met on the river bank to play, when I was young, when I was young. Such general joy could never fade, and yet the chilling whisper came. One face had paled, one form had failed, had fled the bank, had swum the stream. Still revelers danced and sang, and trod the hither bank of time's deep tide. Still, one by one, they left, and fared to the far misty thither side. And now the last hath slipped away, yon drear death desert to explore, and now one pilgrim, worn and lorn, still lingers on the lonely shore. Yes, life in youth tide standeth still, in manhood streameth soft and slow. See, as it nears the abysmal goal, how fleet the waters flash and flow. And deaths are twain, the deaths we see drop like leaves in windy fall. But ours, our own, are ruined worlds, a globe collapsed, last end of all. We live our lives with rogues and fools, dead and alive, alive and dead. We die twixt one who feels the pulse, and one who frets and clouds the head. And, oh, the pity! Hardly conned, the lesson comes its fatal term. Fate bids us bundle up our books, and bear them bodily to the worm. Hardly we learn to wield the blade, before the wrist grows stiff and old. Hardly we learn to ply the pen, ere thought and fancy faint with cold. Hardly we find the path of love to sink the self, forget the I, when sad suspicion grips the heart, when man, the man, begins to die. Hardly we scale the wisdom heights, and sight the Pisgah scene around, and breathe the breath of heavenly air, and hear the sphere's harmonious sound, when swift the camel rider spans the howling waste, by Kismet sped, and of his magic wand a wave hurries the quick to join the dead. How sore the burden, strange the strife, how full of splendor, wonder, fear, life, atom of that infinite space that stretcheth twixt the here and there. how thought is impotent to divine the secret which the gods defend, the why of birth and life and death, that Isis veil no hand may rend. Eternal morrows make our day. Our is I to be, till when night closes in, 'tis all a dream, and yet we die. And then, and still the weaver plies his loom, whose warp and woof is wretched man, weaving the unpatterned dark design, so dark we doubt it owns a plan. Dost not, O Maker, blush to hear, amid the storm of tears and blood, man say thy mercy made what is, and saw the maid and said 'twas good? The marvel is that man can smile dreamily his ghostly, ghastly dream. Better the heedless atomy that buzzes in the morning beam. Oh, the dread pathos of our lives! How durst thou, Allah, thus to play with love, affection, friendship, all that shows the God in mortal clay? But what vaileth man to mourn? Shall tears bring forth what smiles ne'er brought? Shall brooding breed a thought of joy? Hush the sigh, forget the thought. Silence thine immemorial quest. Contain thy nature's vain complaint. None heeds, none cares for thee or thine. Like thee, how many came and went? Cease, man, to mourn, to weep, to wail. Enjoy thy shining hour of sun. We dance along death's icy brink, but is the dance less full of fun?